You are watching Facts Me TV. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content.
Today on Facts Me TV, that's right, my friends, we have a permission to kill. And that is all thanks to the lovely, trustworthy, Pulitzer Prize winning philanthropist, Candace Owens. That's right, my friends. Today we are going to talk about how Candace Owens built a digital assassination culture targeting Erika Kirk. That's right. Not only did she build it, but we're going to prove it today on Facts Me TV. All right, my guys, welcome in. And my gals, all my factivists, welcome to another show. It is Thursday, July 16th. Here we are again. Thanks to everybody who tuned in yesterday. It was a good show. You know, we proved that Tyler's car is actually Tyler's car, and all these different cars that they were saying were Tyler's car that wasn't Tyler's car actually was Tyler's car. Anyway, guys, just watch yesterday's episode if you would like to see that. And what else did we cover yesterday? Oh, it was just a lot of crap. It was a lot of crap that we already knew. You know, Candace Owens out there burning T-shirts now. Not even the same kind, you know, Charlie was wearing. I'm sure she's waiting specifically, you know, just to get that freedom shirt so she can do it with a freedom shirt. Guys, I mean, how many different theories? This is what blows my mind. It's not, you know, I would have so much more respect if, hey, you know, last September she came out with one theory that seemed to have, you know, some substance to it and stuck with it and stuck with it this entire 10 months. You know, that would be one thing. That would almost be acceptable, you know? But to every week change your theory and then completely forget about the one you promised your audience the week before. And the thing is, they're so dumb, they don't even care. They just love the drama and the hate, you know? It's anyways. Guys, I got my hands on this new report from NCRI, and that is what we're going to be, that's what we're going to be going over today. I alluded to this at the beginning of the month. I had done a show where I had talked about, influencers. You know, it's not just a clever name, right? They're called influencers because they influence, right? And I guess Facts Me would be considered an influencer, right? I'm trying to influence people to support the truth and factual information and be against conspiracies and lies and, you know, hate and death threats and all that stuff, right? So I had done an episode a couple weeks ago, earlier this month, about that, and you're more than happy to go look into it, but it dives into that assassination culture. But today we are specifically going to point out one that has completely targeted Candace Owens, and there is so much damning information in this report, guys. It is undeniable. I will go out on a limb and say that this report is going to end up in court. Somebody is going to use this report. Whether it's Brian Harpole, which I doubt, it may get referenced But this report is custom built for Erika Kirk to use when she finally swings that gavel and brings a lawsuit against Candace Owens. This report will be used. You guys can mark my words. Just mark them. Go ahead. Need a pen? I'll send you one. Probably take a while to get there. I am so bad at sending things out. I really am. Guys, I still have books that I promised people that are in my car right now. In the boxes. Everything ready to go. And I see it every day. It's like I leave work, I'm loading Remington into the car, and I look down, oh, yeah, I need to mail those. Guys, I'm telling you, man, I'm burning candles at both ends. I mean, yeah, not just one candle. Multiple candles. Like yarmulke. Yarmulke? Did I just say yarmulke? You know what, guys, it's almost the end of the week. Just don't. Just don't. I want to go over this report, and it's going to take some time to do. It's going to be a lot of read and a lot of talk. But you guys, I promise you, I have already read this report twice. And it is so damning. Like, honestly, guys, it's everything that we've been saying for 10 months. This is all of our observations, really, now solidified, now validated by this very respectable, reputable group. Guys, this is from the Network Contagion Research Institute. And what they do, essentially, is they examine patterns and they try to, what's the word? Nip things in the bud, for lack of a better phrase. When they start to see a pattern or something threatening, they start documenting it. And that's what this report is. This is 9 months of documenting Candace Owens. And I'm telling you guys, we're going to start this thing here. And we're going to start going through it. But it's called a Permission to Kill. How Candace Owens Built a Digital Assassination Culture Targeting Erika Kirk. This report came out this month, July 2026. And we're going to go down the line and we're going to go through it. And this first part here kind of explains what they're doing. It says the bottom line is NCRI assesses that Candace Owens caused a measurable, statistically significant surge in death threats and calls for violence against Erika Kirk. Again, guys, Factivists, this is the stuff we've been saying and pointing out for 10 months is now in print in an official report that we can start flooding social media with. But NCRI assesses that Candace Owens caused a measurable, statistically significant surge in death threats and calls for violence against Erika Kirk. They did a casualty analysis of 1,034 explicit threats. It finds that Owens' tweets targeting Erika Kirk predict those threats at a two-day lag over the full 9 months. Okay, like I said, this examines the 9 months. And the mechanism is narrative targeting, right? Her tweets naming Erika explicitly forecasts threats, while her general non-targeting content produces nothing comparable, right? Because her whole life right now, and has been for 10 months, has been Charlie Kirk and Erika Kirk, which I find so funny when her fans try to say that we're obsessed with Candace. And no, we're obsessed with the truth. That's a word. It has nothing to do with Candace, really, when you break it down. Whoever's out there lying, it doesn't matter who it is. You can come here and we're going to tell you what the truth of the matter is. All right. When you've got Candace Owens spewing Charlie's name, bordering 5,000 times in 10 months, and Erika almost 2,500, that's a problem. But NCRI assesses that Owens functions as the dominant permission structure for violence against Erika Kirk. Now, that's a bold statement, and that is something we've been saying. that they assess that Owens functions as the dominant permission structure. What does that translate, Factivist? Cult. That means her followers wait to act upon what she says. She is their dominant permission structure, right? They have to be told what to think, what to do, what to say. Now, here's where they start breaking it down. Across the 1,034 explicit threats toward Erika, Owens is named in about 1 out of every 11. And that has risen over this 9-month period to 1 in 6 by February of 2026. So 1 in 6 references to killing Erika also references Candace Owens. The month with her highest share of threats mentioned, making her the most cited individual in threat content against Erika, was February of 2026. Making her the most cited individual in threat content against Erika. This is all in print. Her followers invoke her name as authorization, attribution, and moral license. Is this not exactly what we've been saying, Factivists, for 10 months? 10 months. When Owens tweets attack targeting Erika Kirk, threats against her from her audience follows. Nobody can deny that. Nobody can deny that. NCRI assesses that Owens is generating conspiratorial ideation that creates permission structure for murder. Okay, we're just covering the topics that this whole thing lays out, right? Her audience has internalized her narrative across 1,034 explicit threat tweets. Erika killed Charlie, Erika Epstein trafficking, Mossad operation, organized hit, right? This is all stuff that we've heard. This is the architecture of a murder permission structure. A named target, an accusation that morally justifies elimination, and an audience that treats the accusation as a call to act, right? Now, you guys have seen me cover many times the many assassins who have cited Candace Owens in their manifestos, right? You guys hear me say this all the time. You can only call it coincidence so many times, right? Let's keep going down this. Now, this is interesting. They assess that Owens' campaign constitutes a sustained influence operation targeting a private individual for physical harm. Across 627.7 million views and 9 months of targeting, Candace Owens built a narrative ecosystem that her audience turned into explicit threats at statistically predictable intervals. Guys, we're good. That's all I got to say. Fax Me and the Factivists have been saying this for 10 months, and you do not know how rewarding it is to see exactly how on point we were. Oh, let's move on because there is so much. Let's start getting into the goods of this because this is so good. You know, and what's interesting is they literally use Charlie Kirk to feed this. They say political commentator Charlie Kirk read that research, and on April 7th of 2025, he amplified it to his millions of followers. Okay? Charlie wrote, assassination culture is spreading on the left. 48% of liberals say it would be at least somewhat justified to murder Elon Musk, Donald Trump, you know. And of course, as we know, guys, the left is being whipped up into a violent frenzy. And 5 months later, on September 10th in 2025, Kirk was shot and killed by a shooter at UVU. We know this. And this next paragraph's great, Factivist. The circumstances of Charlie Kirk's assassination are thoroughly documented and undisputed by law enforcement. 22-year-old Tyler Robinson was arrested 33 hours after the shooting, after investigators recovered the rifle used, the bullet casings engraved with anti-fascist messages. The identity of the shooter and the method of killing are established. The evidence indicates an ideological motive. Again, all things that we knew. Candace Owens created a conspiracy ecosystem around a murder whose facts were never in serious doubt. We know this, right? She's the one that started all this conspiracy crap. Erika targeted content preceded measurable and statistically significant surges in explicit death threats against the victim's widow. That her narratives were echoed across more than 1,000 classified threats. And that some ex-users came to treat Erika's killing as imminent. Guys, this is great stuff. This section 1 says Candace Owens constructed and sustained the hostile information environment targeting Erika Kirk. We know this. We know this, guys. We know this. The analysis identified 10 accounts, collectively generating roughly 730 million views of content mentioning or targeting Erika Kirk, with monthly views used to track the structure and persistence of the targeting environment over time. Guys, that's insane. 730 million views of content mentioning or targeting Erika. That's, and the next thing we get into, they start actually pointing out Candace fans, right? And as you guys know, I did a report a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. They're starting to arrest the Candace fans for acting on these threats. You know, you morons out there that follow her don't realize that the things you say come with a cost. Yes, you have freedom of speech, but you do not have freedom of consequence, right? You don't have freedom to avoid accountability. You are responsible for the things you say. You are free to say them, but there's going to be repercussions, especially when you're threatening somebody's life. And when you look here, they're using Project Constitution as an example, who's one of Candace's biggest fans. And you look at this graph that they've provided. This is in millions of views, guys, and you can see where Candace is on the screen there. Almost 60 million views, and then they're listing all these other users. Shadow of Ezra, Matt Wallace, Rapes Against Trump, Hobos Crave, Global Updates, Adami Media, Real Candace Owens, Sword of Truth, Hustle B. These are all people echoing her stuff. Then look at the very top. The biggest Candace Owens amplifier is Project Constitution at nearly 160 million views, echoing what Candace Owens has said. Owens and Project Constitution accumulate views steadily across the period, while other top accounts surge in a single month. Let's see as this goes along, guys. Are you guys finding this interesting? Because I am. You know, I kind of debated covering this like, you know, the Factivists are going to be bored with it. But this is important information, guys. NCRI's classification of 712,559 tweets from September 10th to June 7th, referencing Erika Kirk, identified 1,034 tweets containing explicit threats or incitement directed at Erika. This is all documented. You morons out there following Candace don't realize that your tweets, your posts on Facebook, your videos on TikTok, it's all being saved. I have mentioned it more than once. I have a folder on my computer of every death threat that people have made against me, against Erika, against her family, against people of TPUSA. I have collected it all and will happily hand it over. There's over 1,000 screenshots in this folder of you morons making death threats, and you think it's cool. It's not. Okay, out of those 1,034 explicit threat tweets, 249 named at least one of a set of prominent public figures, resulting in 336 figure mentions across 14 individuals. And it goes on to list Candace Owens was the most frequent named individual in the figure mentioned death set. And you can see right here, data set, the graph here that kind of shows people who are out there talking, and Candace Owens is this big color here that you see. Anyway, so when they really break it down, and they're being fair about it too. I mean, they really break it down. Of the 1,034 threat tweets, 195 were coded as echoing an Owens originated narrative. 29 of those named Owens directly while reproducing her framing. 166 reproduced her narrative without naming her. A further 12 tweets contained other conspiracy content. 827 of them was no conspiracy content. The 7 Owens originated narrative categories account for 273 tags across 195 tweets. That means they're tagging her in it too. With Erika implicated in the death, the most common was 137 of them, followed by Epstein, which was 42 of them, followed by the whole Jew thing, 38, or an organized hit, 35, forensic anomaly, 9 of them, illegitimate widow, fake wife, 7 of them, or a federal cover-up, 5 of them. Do people not see? How can you have all these different theories? How can you have all these different reasons? It's one. You only need one. But right there, you go from Erika Kirk to organized hit, to Epstein trafficking, to the Jews, Zionist, Mossad, to forensic anomalies, illegitimate widow, fake wife, federal cover-ups. Which is it? Which is it? Now, in this graph, you can see how they break it down. The darkish orange, reddish color, whatever you want to call it, echoes a Candace conspiracy and names her. The orange one echoes the Candace conspiracy, copies it, but doesn't name her. And then over on the other side, these are Owens conspiracy narratives. See that big color that's taken up almost half of that graph? That is Erika implicated in the death of Charlie Kirk. Then the next biggest color is Erika implicated in Epstein and trafficking. And then it just goes down the line there. And at any point, guys, when the show's over, you can go back, pause this stuff if you really want to read in depth. I'm just trying to, cover it as I'm going along here, making sure I'm not missing anything important. So the section 3 here says Owens Erika targeted tweets correlate with explicit threats toward Erika Kirk. To determine the relationship between Owens' posting activity and the daily explicit threats toward Erika Kirk, NCRI computed the same-day Pearson correlation between the daily count of Owens' tweets mentioning Erika Kirk by name or handle and the daily count of explicit threats toward her across the full 271-day study period. The 130 Erika-specific tweets drawn from Owens, 412 tweets mentioning Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk, or TPUSA during the study period were used as the predictor, okay? Just so we're on the same page. Now, here's what's interesting, okay? This is just X. This is just X. This is just X. This is just X. So all of this is from just X, one social media platform. It's not counting all the crap she has said and done on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, right? That's not even counting all that. This is just focusing on her tweets. Okay? So you can only imagine the scale of this once they start doing all of social media on her. This is just a simple little graph that kind of shows how it grew and has grown over time. Nothing really major to show there. Let's see what else we got here. This is kind of a boring section. A lot of algebra. I'm not going to cover that. I'm not. Let's see what this next thing is. This is the casualty table, where the way they lay it out is how long it takes for her to say something and then her cronies to run with it. And they give it like a day or two at most. That's it. That's what they're calling the lag. Erika targeted Owens tweets predicting explicit threats across lags. So when you see that lag 1 through 6, it kind of shows like, just pause the screen and look at, because I've only got an hour to cover this, but the predictor shows the daily Owens tweets mentioning Erika Kirk by name or handle, 130 tweets, 75 active days. So they're breaking it down by how many tweets per how many days, that kind of thing. This one is a little more interesting. It shows the explicit threats toward Erika Kirk and Owens Erika targeted posts across 7 days. And you can see the spikes, guys. The dotted lines are Erika targeted tweets over a 7-day average. Okay. The solid line are explicit threats across a 7-day average. So you can see how many tweets there on the right. And then on the left, explicit threats by the day. So it shows you that volume and kind of comes up with the average and predicts what's coming next. Let's see. This next section, I really factor this. I want you to really pay attention to this, and then we're going to take a quick break. Okay. This says it all. Okay, this says it all. I really like this right here, okay? This report began with a fact that is easy to lose sight of the analytical machinery that follows it. Okay, again, this cites Charlie Kirk. He amplified this group, the Network Contagion Research Institute, on his assassination culture 5 months before he was killed. And in the 9 months since, Candace Owens has constructed around his death precisely the kind of permission structure. Remember, I was highlighting that earlier. The permission structure NCRI identified as the precondition for targeted political violence. So in other words, Candace Owens is the poster girl for the permission structure for targeted political violence. She's literally the poster girl. Okay. People need to own this. People need to own this. And here's the great part. I'm going to read this next part, guys, and this is what I really want you to take away, okay? Permission structures for violence do not require explicit instructions, right? You don't have to write it down. Here's how you need to go do it, okay? That's essentially what's that saying. They require 3 elements. This is so good, guys. They require 3 elements: a named target, which we have, Erika Kirk, a moral justification for harming that target, which Candace is always giving her audience, and a community that internalizes both. That's her cult. Guys, that nails it. Permission structures for violence require 3 elements: a named target, a moral justification for harming that target, and a community or a cult that internalizes both. We've seen it happen with Donald Trump over and over again. Okay? So as this goes on, it says Charlie Kirk was killed by a shooter whose ideological motivation was documented and indisputed. In each case, the violence was preceded by a permission structure, a named target, a moral framework that justified harm, and an audience primed to act. Owens has provided all 3 to her audience regarding Charlie Kirk. I'm going to say that again. Owens has provided all three to her audience regarding Charlie Kirk. She has named Erika repeatedly, specifically, at a scale across 627.7 million views. She supplied the moral justification. Erika killed Charlie. Erika is a Mossad asset. Erika trafficked children. That framed violence against Erika not as aggression, but as justice, because you make your audience think they're the good guys. What you're doing is good. You're fighting the good fight. We all know. We all know. We're the ones that are right. That is a cult. That is a cult. So she has cultivated an audience that treated her framing as authorization, reproducing her narratives verbatim in 195 classified tweets and invoking her name in 1 in 11 explicit threats against Erika. When a permission structure is functioning, its architect does not need to issue orders. The audience already knows what is permitted to do. Guys, I mean, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. So with that being said, before we finish out the rest of this, guys, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, this really starts to get into some meat here, guys. We're really going to be, man, yeah, we're going to be digging into that steak, guys. Because clearly Candace Owens has a beef. Check these commercials out, guys, and we will be right back.
This is not red. Wake up. This square is blue, and they don't want you to know it. Now more than ever, I need your support. Please donate today, because believe it or not, having millions of dollars just isn't enough.
This message has been brought to you by FaxMe, critical thinking, common sense, and anybody wishing not to be viewed as a moron.
Every week they lie, twist facts, and dodge the truth. We call it out. Educate, don't fabricate. Subscribe to FactsMe for weekly fact checks.
Dirty rat. I have only one burning desire. Let me stand against this liar. Let me stand against this liar. Hey, let me stand against this liar. Oh, let me stand against this liar. Oh, moronic fans, stand against this liar. Yeah, baby. Now listen here, Candy. We all know you're crazy. Georgie ain't home, big words you'll never learn. Just don't try to pronounce big words to the world. I know only one guilty trans Tyler. Let me stand against this liar. Let me stand against this liar. Yeah, let me stand against this liar. Oh, let me stand, baby. Stand against this liar. Oh, moronic fans, stand against this liar. Oh. this. Yeah, you know what fake and gay is all about. Yeah, get on with it, Candace. Yeah! Wow!
Hey, my friends, this is Stephen from Fax Me. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stop!
Bok bok.
All right, welcome back, my friends. I hope you guys are not bored, but this is information that needs to be said. I haven't seen anybody really fully cover this. This is a magnificent report. It literally, like I said, validates everything we've been saying and trying to prove for 10 months, guys. 10 months. So to jump back into this, talking about Candace's cult, her audience anticipates Erika's killing and insists it will be staged. Her followers are not simply mobilized. Some are already planning ahead. Guys, I told you we're going to get into the meat of this. And like I said, as I alluded to earlier, I did a report a few weeks ago showing that the Candace cultists are getting nailed. They are getting arrested for echoing Candace Owens. So y'all do what you want to do out there, but your time is coming. Morons, psychos. So, this is a pattern in this conduct that extends beyond ideology and into the logic of organized coercion. Right? She's coercing them, man. And this is great. Mafias demonstrate power by not targeting the powerful, but by targeting those with the least capacity to resist. Now, really think about that. You've got people like us that will forgive and forget, and you know, because we walk with Jesus. Erika walks with Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So we are easy targets because we will always rise above. We will always choose the godly path, right? So that does make us easy targets for defamation and attacks, right? It's like I've said, I forgive Candace Owens. I have to. I'm a Christian. But that doesn't mean I have to associate with her, and that doesn't mean I'm not going to stand up to what she's doing wrong, right? Forgiveness comes with Christianity, and I pray for Candace. I have said that multiple times. I've prayed for every one of these folks involved. You know, I pray for you guys, right? But people need to understand that you can forgive, but you don't have to forget, right? So, with that being said, let's continue on with this. So this is great because it really starts to dig into these candy cultists. Okay, the threat is the message, right? The target is the proof of the concept, which is Erika, and the audience that witness it learns what compliance looks like. Guys, you are puppets. Candace cultists, you are puppets. You are being used. She's not going to come to your defense. We have seen it. We have seen it with people that she was using in the podcasting commentator line of work, field, whatever you want to call it, right? She uses them, and then when she can't use them anymore, she turns against them. If you think she's going to go down to save one of you, you best forget that. She ain't Fax Me. We stand by each other here. Anyway, I think this is really good. In late May 2026, that logic produced a concrete result. Jacob Wensk, 26, was charged in Bexar County with a felony terroristic threat for an alleged plot to bomb a Turning Point USA event where Erika Kirk was the keynote speaker, having sent communications including death to Erika Kirk. 9 months of assassination culture directed at a specific target produced a specific man with a specific plan. The infrastructure Owens built did not stay virtual. It did not stay in her land of make-believe. It did not stay in the land of fiction where we know it all comes from. Instead, some dude is psycho enough to take her fabrications, take her land of make-believe, and try to push it into our reality. Anyway, let's move on. This does, what I like about it too is it does comparables. I'm not going to get into that, but it goes into America's institutions under threat. And it shows that, Erika isn't the only one that's dealing with this kind of influence from people like Candace Owens, right? There's other people that do it too, right? And it kind of goes into politicians and stuff like that. But here, and this is interesting too, and I'm going to read this. Just a few parts of it before we get into some of this better stuff down here. But it says the answer to this is not censorship. That is something we hear a lot from the candy cultists. It's freedom of speech. I'm an advocate for freedom of speech. So am I. So am I. So are all of us here. But I'm not an advocate of freedom of not consequence. They're not being consequent. I mean, I'm talking like Candace. Now, guys, I got to stop watching Candace. You are not free from being accountable. Yeah, I'm sure. Say whatever you want. Say whatever you want. Do whatever you want. These are the freedoms we have. But you're going to answer to your actions. I mean, it's as simple as that. We don't live in a world where you can blatantly threaten somebody with your words and think you're going to get away with it. Yes, that's freedom of speech. You just used it. Nobody stopped you from using it, candy cultists. But they're going to stop you from performing what you were talking about. Wow. Okay. They say the answer, this is not censorship, and this report does not call for censorship. It says what NCRI documents here is a crisis of consciousness that legal prohibition cannot resolve, and that platform moderation alone will not contain. And that's what we're seeing. Many people have reported her videos for misinformation, for threats, all this stuff that would take any of us down. If we were doing that here on Fax Me, I wouldn't even have a channel. I would be taken down, right? So that responsibility is on Google, is on YouTube. Like, hey, what are you doing here? These are your rules, and you're not even going by them, right? Anyways, moving along here. This is interesting. To characterize threatening discourse directed at Erika Kirk following the assassination of Charlie Kirk, NCRI collected public tweets referencing Erika Kirk by her name, even her old name, her handle, across X. 712,559 tweets since September 10th. Holy crap. 712,559 tweets since September 10th. Holy crap. Right? Each post was evaluated by a large language model. Are you familiar with what that is? Using a structured coding prompt that captures the post target, the audience stance toward Erika, and specific forms of negative present. So I do this too. I use LLM every day for Fax Me. I'm basically sending out what I'm looking for using coding, and it brings it back to me. Does that make sense? That's an easy way to put it, because you got to evaluate. That's how I do the how many lies per episode. I'm using a large language model to do that. The LLM coding prompt was designed to read each post in context, including any quoted post, reply, or screenshot it was responding to, and to code the author's own stance and position. This is exactly what Fax Me does. Exactly what Fax Me does. And that's just another pat on the back that we're doing that here the same way these official research institutes operate. So that's a pat on the back for Fax Me, guys. So for each post, the model produced the following primary labels. The target, the main subject of the post, was either Erika, Candace, Charlie, TPUSA, media, or other, multiply, or unclear. Stance toward Erika, hostile, critical, neutral, supportive, or not about Erika. explicit threat or incitement, a post calling for harm or stating intent to harm Erika Kirk. This is exactly how I came to the numbers for how many times she had said Erika, how many times she had said Jew, how many times she said Charlie, using that large language model. Dude, it's so great to see that I'm on that level. You know what I'm saying? That I'm doing it the same way. So nobody can say, well, you're not doing it like the professional guys are doing it. Well, yes, I am. So eat it. The 1,034 tweets that were classified by the LLM as constituting threats or incitement formed the basis for the correlation of casualty analysis. Try saying that 10 times fast. To identify which conspiracy theories appeared in the 1,034 explicit threat tweets and how common each was, they ran a second pass on it. Which, guess what? That's what I do too. I think I've even said it. That I'll sit through one of her episodes, take my notes. I'll sit through it again, make sure all my notes are correct. Then I will run the LLM on everything that I'm looking for, everything that I'm trying to identify. And then I watch it that third time to make sure everything's right. So what they came to, the 7 labels were Erika implicated in the death that Erika knew about, helped plan, or is covering up the killing. Erika Epstein trafficking, that Erika is tied to Epstein's network or child sex trafficking. It was an organized hit, that the assassination of Charlie was coordinated rather than the act of a lone gunman. Her whole Jew thing, Israel, Mossad, Zionists were responsible. Illegitimate widow, fake wife, that the marriage is fake and Erika is not a genuine widow. Forensics anomalies, that the physical or ballistic evidence doesn't add up, or that the death was staged. Federal cover-up. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, one show you're saying it's staged, the next show you're saying he was shot in the neck, the next show you're saying it was an exploding microphone, the next show you're saying it was a hologram, the next show you're saying he faked his death. And, of course, federal cover-up. So, let's continue on. This is where they start bringing in actual examples here. This is Project Constitution, the guy that we talked about earlier, 160 million views on his reposted content of Candace Owens. And, he literally just, I'm not going to read through these, but I already have, but he just echoes everything that she's saying. So everything that we just went over up here above with the implicated in the death, the Erika Epstein, the organized hit, Mossad, all that, he just echoes it. He just echoes it. And those are the prime examples for him. He will be the next to get arrested. He's on the list. I'm telling you. Mark my words. This video will age well. How about that? Candace Owens, Erika Kirk conspiracies. Here again, pulling exact ones where they show Candace Owens' tweet and what she says about Erika Kirk being embedded with Jeffrey Epstein's trafficking network, right? And then it shows what Candace posts, and then it shows her fans literally echoing it, right? Spreading it like a disease. Then, of course, the Freemason hit squad. How can we forget about that? The magical burning Bible that didn't burn, that survived a fire that you can't find anywhere, that is really everywhere, that you can buy on Amazon, Walmart, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble. Anyway, here we go. Charlie's death was a coordinated elite assassination rooted in France and Israel. Her anchor is a French case in which 22 people were tried over a Freemason hit squad. And she links it to Israel, of course. I mean, of course. So there is her saying it. Okay, again, completely different theory this time. Then, of course, she goes off on the magical neck, and it shows her saying in her tweet, automatically disqualified to speak if you were trying to tell the public Charlie got shot by a lone shooter on a rooftop with a 30-06 bullet that was stopped by a magical neck. We just don't have time for that. Guys, wasn't it just yesterday or last Friday I played a loop of her saying Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck? Wasn't it? Was it yesterday? Or Monday? I know I played that clip recently. Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck. Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck. I looped it over and over and over again. But here, she's saying he wasn't. She don't have time for that. And then, of course, you look at this, after she makes her post, this Kenzo the Buddha. Can we hang with Andrew Colvett and Erika Kirk by public execution live streamed? They want to hang Andrew Colvett and Erika Kirk publicly. Execute them on a live stream. That's one of her fans. Then, of course, you've got the Zionist plot. I don't even think I want to get into that because it's so stupid. But you can see what she posts. Then her cronies come in. Phantom Pain, Truth, Escaping 1984. Literally just echoing what she says. So she changes the theory, so do they. And they don't question, like, well, hey, what happened to the theory you had yesterday? These people are idiots. They're sheep. They're cultists. Erika Kirk implicated in the death. You can see it right here. This one is just unreal. Owens never said it outright in hers, but she implies that Erika was involved in Charlie's killing, casting her less as a grieving wife than a knowing participant in the network she blames for his death. On X, she urged every journalist in America to cover her claim that Erika's assistant was pulled back because Erika's best friend sensed danger. A hint that those closest to Erika saw the attack coming. Among users, the insinuation is stated outright. Look at this. So you see her tweet, right? She's saying it without saying it. But then this Serena Brown immediately after says, Candace didn't have to say Miss Erika Kirk killed Charlie because I f***ing will. It's coming, Erika. Don't you effing worry. Just saying. Just saying. Then, of course, she gets in the federal cover-up, and you can see, and yet it's the most well-funded federal operation since JFK to convince the public not to believe their own eyes. We do believe our own eyes, Candace. We've watched all the footage. We've seen all the evidence. I believe my own eyes. Oh. And then anticipating the killing, the false flag narrative, a distinct narrative circulating in the Owens community holds that Erika Kirk's killing is already coming, that it would be staged as a suicide or a fake attack, and that Owens will be blamed. The false flag framing functions as a permission structure for threats and violence, right? So when you have Candace the other day on her show saying that Candace was the real target, not Charlie, and because Charlie wouldn't kill her, okay, because like he really cared, right? He really cared. She was gone. That's why she has to keep pulling from 2018, because there was no relationship there after that. But now Charlie was assigned to kill Candace. He wouldn't do it, so they killed Charlie. This is what Candace is trying to say. This is false flag framing, which creates that permission structure for threats and violence. It casts Erika as a legitimate target whose death is not only expected, but deserved, recasting violence against her as the exposure of a plot rather than an attack on a person. She says, users warn Owens directly. One told her they are starting a campaign that you are going to get husband killer Erika Franz killed so they can trigger you to be the killer. This is how PSYOPs work. She killed Charlie, so why not you? This is her fans. Their screen name is Erika Killed Him. This one, the Dipster. Israel may be planting seeds for a fake stage assassination of Erika Kirk. Now, here's the thing. None of these people would be posting this stuff if it hadn't come from Candace Owens. Period. She's the one amplifying all this. She is ground zero. She's the point of origin for all of this. So take her out of the equation. None of this would even be happening. None of it. I mean, these are bad. You know, like this Erika Killed Him says, it even tags Candace right at the top, Candace Owens. These pedo demons are planning on harming you. They are starting a campaign that are going to get husband killer Erika Kirk killed so that they can trigger you being killed. This is how PsyOps works. So she killed Charlie, so why not you? This person, my gift is seeing immediate future. I always had this gift, and I have a weird sense about this one. They will fake assassinate her, move her to Israel. Trump will go for it. Candace will be accused. Guys, there you go. Again, I recommend if you really want to get in depth with this, message me. I can send you a link to this whole file so you can read it in its entirety. It's great information. And I foresee this being used in court somewhere down the line, probably from Erika Kirk herself, since it focuses so much on her and Charlie. But yeah, permission to kill. How Candace Owens built a digital assassination culture targeting Erika Kirk. Guys, I'm sorry it was such a read, talky talk episode, but that's really about the only way to cover something like this. And I hope you enjoyed the information. I hope you can use this in our fight for good against the candy cultists, these people that are trying to get innocent people killed because of Candace Owens. They are disgusting human beings. It's like I see these comments from the candy cultists now, and I just don't even want to respond, or now I'm just like, that's cool, man, take care. You know, just being completely dismissive at this point, because I really don't care. If you think like this, I don't want to be affiliated with you, and you have no cred whatsoever. If Candace Owens is your source, you have no cred whatsoever. None. And I'm still waiting. It's 10 months now. 10 months and 6 days. I'm still waiting for you candy cultists to actually bring things she's proven. We all have been waiting. We've been waiting. I'd love to do a video on it. You guys, you candy cultists, bring me all the stuff, all the verified and empirical facts Candace Owens has proven over the past 10 months, and I will happily do a video for it just for you. But you got to bring it. Because right now, we don't know. We don't know. You guys keep saying she's right. But you haven't corrected us. So bring it or shut up. This is the stage we are at. Bring it or shut up. Period. Guys, I hope you enjoy the remainder of your day. I want you to keep that truth on your tongue and God in your heart. Again, I feel bad that this wasn't such a visual episode, but there's no way to cover something like this in an entertaining fashion, guys, but it needed covered. It needed to be covered. Permission to kill. How Candace Owens built a digital assassination culture targeting Erika Kirk. This was an official NCRI report released this month, July 2026. Again, it'll be used in court. I guarantee it. And it literally, guys, give yourselves a pat on the back, Factivists. This is the stuff we've been saying, we've been preaching, we've been trying to teach others for 10 months, all now in an official document. And I'm going to do a deeper dive into this in a standalone video that really just gets into it, man. And I'll release that over the next couple days. But I pulled this up this morning. I was like, you know what? I'm going to read through it for the Factivists. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I want you to have a great evening, guys. I will be back tomorrow for our Friday show at 4 p.m. Take care. Be good. Thank you, mods, for all of the work you do. And we will be talking at you soon.
No, I don't know why I'm into, but I sure know what lies to sell. Hanging on the white men and their money, actually. And I've made up your mind. I ain't wasting no more time. Here I lie again. Charlie in my dreams. And here I lie again on my show, running circles round the truth I've never shown. Like a grifter, I was born to talk alone. And I've made up your mind. I ain't ceasing from my crimes. I'm just another part in needs of sponsors, waiting on cultists, sweet cherry